It's not an easy task, like for me, if I want to learn how to cook a scrambled egg,
Yeah.
I can scramble eggs all day long. I can try it 50 times in a day. And then at the end of one day, I can, yes, I've done it 50 times, I know how to do it well. But with these tea farmers, they only have X number of tries in their lifetime to get it perfect. Screwing up one time is basically 1 year's work gone. So it's just like, if you fuck up a scrambled egg, you throw it away and you just do it again. For them, if you mess it up, it's messed up.
There's no days off, it's years off, year off if you mess up. Okay.
Very tough job, I would say. Very, very difficult job.
Hello everyone, welcome to I Know a Guy, the show where we meet interesting people doing interesting things. Today I'm going to be meeting and chatting with Colin, a guy who knows his tea. Not just any tea, loose leaf tea, steeped in history, ritual and culture. If I've ever wondered how to brew tea the right way, or why it's such a big deal in Asian tradition, this one's for you. Before we start brewing, I have to ask, how do you get into all of this?
A bit of background, I've always been interested in food. I cook a lot, as you can see from all the cookware. But I've never been like a wine guy or a coffee guy. I don't really drink, so wine, beer is all out. But when I hear people talking about these things, I've always been curious lah.
Okay.
But back in 2019, I went to Taiwan with my wife and she wanted to go to a tea house.
Wait, she's the one who asked you to get into it?
Or rather, she just wanted to visit a tea house lah. We were in Jiufen and she said, want to go to a tea house. I was like, yeah, sure.
Okay.
And I think after that very first time at the tea house, I was so hooked already because...
Place 2019.
Yeah.
You got the tea, but you bought it, but you didn't really get into it even after buying it.
Yeah, when I came back to Singapore, I think I went on like typical, like you get into a hobby. I went on Reddit, I went on YouTube a lot, and on Reddit and YouTube, people say like, oh, when you want to drink loose leaf tea, you need to have this apparatus, that apparatus, you need to do it this way, that way, and it made me feel very intimidated.
Oh, okay.
So it made me think that each time I want to drink tea, I need to set aside 2 hours of my life just to drink the tea. And as a result, I mean, who has 2 hours all the time, right? So I never had time to drink tea, which ended up with me just never drinking the tea. But
then what changed?
Firstly, after that, I worked for a guy, professor in a university who drinks a lot of tea.
Okay.
And during our Friday meetings, he would just like casually be brewing tea while we were having our meeting. And
what a boss, man. So this guy, while he's taking your meetings, he's brewing tea and does he offer you?
Yes, he offers it to everybody.
Okay,
yes. Not only that, he's the boss, right? So he's the boss of the whole research group. People will be giving presentations and sometimes he'll say like, sorry, hold on. People will be writing on the board, hold on. And then he'll run into his office, then he'll come back and say, I think very interesting. We compare this tea with this one, which is like 3 weeks before, like harvest 3 weeks before. Then we see if there's a difference. So sometimes he himself, his mind is on the tea, not on the work matters. But he was brewing it very casually. He just uses like I'll brew one of the teas later in a style that he likes to brew it in, and it was very casual, and it showed me that, if you love tea, you can just drink it all the time. But still, I didn't really drink because I think I only had a finite amount of tea from my trip in 2019, right? So I was thinking like, shit, if I finish all this tea, then how? I don't know where to buy. So I just never drank it.
You never drink it. You treasured it. You hoarded it like a typical Singaporean.
Which on hindsight is quite dumb lah, because now I always say the worst tea is the tea that is never drunk.
Okay.
Like you can buy the best tea in the world, but then you keep it in your cupboard for so long and you never drink it.
So what happens to the tea if you keep it too long? I mean, it's traditionally dried.
Yes, so it's dry, but it also absorbs moisture. Some teas are meant for aging, like I'm sure you've heard of pu'er.
Yeah.
So for pu'er teas, I think up to a point at least, it's always treasured for its age. Like the longer you keep it, the more precious it can be. But also, just like wine, depending how you keep it, where you keep it, of course. But like I said, for green teas, they go bad quite quickly. They don't go bad in that they'll make you fall sick, but they lose a lot of their flavor.
That's why you need to put it in the fridge.
Yeah, and for green teas, people always say try to drink it the year it's picked lah. So if you are drinking tea in 2025, you try to drink 2025's harvest.
So you're going back to the professor again. You were very inspired by him.
So I was mildly inspired by it, but I still hoarded my tea. But back after working for him, we went to Taiwan again in 2023 for our honeymoon. And during that trip, I bought, of course, a lot more tea, but somehow something clicked during that trip and made me realize, I'm a very calculative person, so I calculated, okay, if I use 2 grams of tea each time I drink, how much am I spending? And actually it's less than taping.
So you went there with your ex-girlfriend?
No, with my wife.
Yeah,
yes, my ex-girlfriend. Yes, my wife, my ex-girlfriend. I calculated lah, then I realized, shit, it's actually not expensive at all. Why am I, pricing this like something that I can never enjoy?
Okay.
So I came back and then I just started drinking tea all the time. And yeah, I guess then I really went way deep down the rabbit hole. I started with Taiwanese teas, now I'm very into Taiwanese, Chinese, trying to learn a bit about Japanese and even like Indian teas as well. So do we start drinking tea now?
We already started already. Does tea have a lot of caffeine actually?
Okay, so how much caffeine there is in tea is really dependent on many factors. My brother gave me this from China. So this is the anatomy of a tea plant. Okay. Oh, first I think maybe I'll introduce different types of tea and explain what tea actually is. Just for those who don't know, that when you talk about green tea, oolong tea, or black tea, even pu'er, it all actually comes from the same plant. It's just like you have durian, but you have Mao San Wang, you have Hong Xia, you have D24. But with tea, it's a bit more than that, because with the same variant, so from the same raw material, you could actually produce different types of tea. So how we categorize like oolong or black or green tea, right? It's actually not dependent on the plant itself, but it's dependent on how it's processed after it's picked. Okay. So after it's picked, it starts oxidizing, just like when you bite into an apple, it starts to turn brown.
Yep.
Yeah, that's oxidation happening. So green tea is unoxidized, meaning because this oxidation process is driven by enzymes, and if you heat it up enough to denature the enzymes, then you can halt the oxidation at wherever it's at lah. Okay. So for green tea, after picking, quite quickly they try to heat it up via steaming or pan frying, which kills.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In Japan they like to steam. In China it's mostly pan fried or like in some oven kind.
When you say denature, it means just kill the green inside, or what does it actually do?
Yeah, it's. Wow, you want to get into the science of this. So enzymes.
No, but into the layman for the for the people in chat here.
Basically, enzymes have an optimal range and they get not killed but denatured. Like, so you can think of it as killed after a certain temperature. So if you heat it up enough, basically you have denatured the enzymes such that they no longer can carry out their functions. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, green tea is almost fully unoxidized. So these two are green teas. This is Longting, and this is actually the one you're drinking, Pilotun.
Okay. Longting. Okay.
This is Longting, this is Pilotun, both from China. So green teas are fully unoxidized, and black teas are on the other end of the spectrum, where after being picked, they are actually rolled a little bit. They are purposely broken up so that you increase the surface area and allowed to fully oxidize before they are processed further. So these two are black teas. So I know they look very different.
So in summary, all teas are pretty much the same, come
from the same plant. I mean, of course.
Or type of plant.
Yeah, it's the same species. The scientific name is Camellia sinensis.
Okay. The difference is what they do after they pick it.
The primary difference, yes. Okay. But of course, within tea, just like what I said with durian, you have different cultivars, variants. So you also have different variants, and some are more suited for certain types of tea and some are suited for others. Just like with potatoes, you have the starchy and the waxy potatoes. You could use any potato to make mashed potato, but certain potatoes will be nicer in a mashed potato. Certain will be better as French fries. Yeah. So you could use the one that isn't optimal for French fries to make French fries, but it just won't be the best lah. So as I was saying, green is unoxidized, black is fully oxidized, and in between you have oolong teas. Then you also have white and yellow, and in English what we call dark teas, which are like your pu'er. They are fermented actually. It's all a bit complex, but I would say the three main big ones are green, black, and oolong, which is unoxidized, fully oxidized, and partially oxidized.
So your real tip over point after buying all that was seeing that professor brew the tea, more taking meetings. Then depending on how good the tea is, you say, okay, pause the presentation, try this. Then after that, the person, I was in my flow state, and then you tell me to drink tea. So that was the point that was really you felt that was got you into tea full on.
No, actually, it was when I went to Taiwan again in 2023, and then because I'm calculative, so I counted how much money it costs for one session of tea, and I realized it's not much money at all. Actually, very recently I saw on Instagram someone was giving a talk about tea, and he said, and I agree, he said that tea is the cheapest luxury good to have in the world, because with your wines, with even your expensive coffee, with your craft beers, one session is not going to be cheap. But with tea, you could use really, really high quality tea and have a good session with your friends for less than $5, $2-3.
Wow, okay, that's relative.
Yeah, in fact, at the prices I'm selling, I would say my average is about $5 per 10 grams.
Okay.
And each time...
$5 per 10 grams.
Yeah, that's the average. I have cheaper, I have more expensive.
Okay. So if someone asks you, what do you do? What's your one-liner?
So I would say with my Instagram page, Easy Teasy, what I'm trying to do is make tea affordable and accessible for everyone. Yeah, that's my one-liner.
Okay.
My longer spiel would be that with this page that I'm doing, I'm trying to do what I wish existed when I started getting into tea, because I wanted to try all the teas out there in the world, right?
That's how you go into it.
Yeah, but each tea that you try is like, we want to buy it is like usually 100 grams, sometimes 150 grams.
Okay.
It's quite a commitment. And each session I drink maybe 2-3 grams. So I wanted someone to sell tea at a very, very low minimum quantity and also at a fair price, which I'm doing. I sell as low as 10 grams. Then you can buy like 5-6 types that you can try and compare for yourself. Figure out for yourself what you like, what you don't like.
So at 10 grams, you use each time 1 or 2 grams per session?
I use 2 to 3.
3?
Yeah.
Wow. So actually for each run itself, we can take 2 to 3 sessions out.
Yeah, so each 10 gram could probably last you three sessions.
Okay,
yeah.
Very cool.
Like I always tell people, this isn't a business, it's more of a hobby. The main reason that I started this is honestly so that I can fund my own hobby.
Yes.
I want to drink so much tea
at a
I need
premium price.
to recover some money from it.
Okay.
Because if you look in these drawers, all 3 drawers by the way are full of tea. There's almost nothing else in these 3 drawers.
So do you say that right now you are at your highest stockpile of tea, or there was
No, I'm actually very consciously trying to reduce my stock right now. Trying to give away tea, trying to sell tea, trying to force myself to drink as much tea as I humanly can.
Okay.
I leave a whole bunch of it in office for my colleagues, and yeah, just trying to reduce this so that I can start moving forward a bit more mindfully, because previously I just bought everything that I saw, which
I love the word that you say, mindful.
Yeah.
So when you say that you're trying to drink more, right? So you're actively looking, okay, I've got this much tea at home. Should I buy it still, or at what rate?
I'm trying to reduce it to a point that I have physical space.
Okay.
Before I start buying more lah. Yeah.
Okay. What happens if you find a tea that you don't like? Or how often does that happen?
It happens very often. So I would say previously my wife and I, we just moved here. As you saw earlier from the lift, this is a new BTO. We moved here about 6 months ago.
Okay.
Our old place was in Bukit Batok, and a few blocks from us actually there was an unspoken rule that this one staircase landing, people would just leave their shit. And other people will take it. Like people will leave like stationery, people will leave children's toys.
So it's a communal place where...
Okay. So I have left quite a lot of tea at that void deck, at that staircase landing. So I will just, when I'm walking to the MRT, I will just dump a bunch of tea there. When I come home, the tea is gone.
What?
So someone will take it. So that's what I do with the really, really bad tea that I really dislike, but it's definitely still drinkable. And I would say it's still better than...
How do you know it's someone taking it?
Usually someone will take it.
Okay.
And I have taken things from there as well. Some of my bowls, like these bowls,
Okay.
I got from that void deck. There were a whole bunch, there were 2 boxes of these 20 bowls, I think, so I took 2
Okay.
And they're decent.
So Chad, this is not the first time I'm meeting Colin. He gave me very good stuff the last time, and he recommended the best way to brew. Cold brew. Just add cold water, leave it in the fridge, done.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's the best way to brew.
Yeah.
A lot of tea nerds will kill me if I dared to say that's the best way to
Serious? Okay.
but I would say cold brewing tea is a very convenient way to brew. It's a very simple way to brew, and with the heat that we are in, it makes a lot of sense to have a nice cold drink. I don't want to drink a hot drink in our hot weather all the time. Like I said, tea nuts would kill me because you don't, with cold brew I say it's a lot easier because you don't extract a lot of the bitterness. In fact, caffeine is extracted at lower rates at low temperatures.
Oh, so that's good.
Lower in caffeine. But also you don't get a lot of the nuances of the tea, like some
flavors.
Compounds which are extracted at higher temperatures.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
We have got one question here. Are you particular about the tea used to brew the tea? The water used to brew the tea from Faith 86?
Personally, I am not.
Have you noticed a difference though?
I have not done enough tests to see for myself whether I can taste the difference. Before I get into expensive equipment, I would like to get into testing different waters. It's true, a lot of tea nuts say that the water matters. In fact, last year when we were in China, I asked, I can't remember what I was asking, but because of my horrible Chinese, the lady at the tea shop misunderstood my question to be asking her where her water is sourced from. And then she told me very proudly, she said, every 2 weeks or something, they drive, I think half an hour to a stream.
No way.
They fill up like few hundred liters of water and they drive back down and they use that water for brewing tea, and they wouldn't use like mineral water
So it's
to drink.
that one is this natural river water.
They will drive to a stream.
The upstream, someone is doing their laundry.
Maybe.
You don't know, right?
I guess it could be happening.
It could be happening, right? Then along the way, it's been
A lot of people are particular about like the brands of water that they drink, that they use for tea. But for me, honestly, I just use that water.
Singapore tap water.
Yeah, I would say Singapore tap water is usually good enough.
All right, let's make some tea.
Yes.
And show me how badly or well you have been doing it. So is just an apparatus there, a tea.
And today we'll just use this. I think I gave you bought one of these for me as well.
I got this from Taobao.
Yeah. So this is just a travel set. It holds 3 cups. This is called a kaiwan, and this is like sharing cup. So you brew in this, decant into here.
Decant, wow.
Yeah. Because you don't want the leaves sitting in hot water for too long. And also if you pour it out like this, the top part and the bottom part would be slightly different. So it's called a fairness cup actually in Chinese, gong tao bei. So you pour it into another vessel to let it homogenize, and then you serve it to your guests.
Oh, okay. So put the leaves in there, put the hot water, decant into here, and then serve it to your guests.
I'll give you this cup, okay? My wife's favorite cup.
Oh, wow.
Use nicer cups.
It's his wife's favorite cup.
This is mine. This one, I think this is vintage. If I'm not wrong, the seller said this is from the 1970s. Got this in Taiwan.
1970s?
Yeah.
Sure not, then in your hand got a date.
No, it's just like mass market 1970s cup. It's just like an IKEA cup from 1970s.
Okay.
Yeah. The first tea that we'll be brewing is called Jingshen Oolong.
Jingshen. Oh, this looks like a roll.
Yeah, so it's ball rolled. So the leaves are... Yeah, how do I show?
I'll show this.
The leaves are rolled up into balls like this. Very typical in Taiwan and in some parts of China as well, to roll it up like this.
So you're doing actually this as a session, as a business eventually, or right now you're doing
I've run a couple of sessions. So I did one for my neighbors, then I posted on Instagram, then actually my wedding photographers came over for like company team bonding session.
Okay. What do you just do?
Okay, so for this type of rolled up oolongs, it takes a lot of time for them to start opening up, like bloom.
Okay.
So usually the first brew I would just discard because the flavor wise there's not much there.
Okay.
And some people do this for every loose leaf tea that they have. They also say it's like cleaning the tea, because I mean with every food product, the conditions that they're produced in might not be the cleanest. Sometimes they just lay it out on the floor, so you want to just rinse it to get rid of whatever dirt.
So, but if you do it for cold brew tea, there's also don't worry.
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
Yeah. So with this ball roll oolong also, I see my mood. Some days I strain it.
First batch is good.
Yeah, some days I throw out the first one, some days I don't bother.
Okay. Chat, our first hot tea of the day. What do you do when you have the tea? Do you cheers?
Oh yeah, no, I would just drink it.
Drink it, okay.
But it's very hot, so maybe give it a... So this one is very light, slightly floral. Some people say it has like jasmine notes, but all of the teas today don't have any flavoring or any... Even like...
No preservatives and artificial
Yeah, no
flavors.
flavoring, no artificial flavoring definitely. And some teas are processed with certain flowers like jasmine tea, but none of these have any sort of flavoring added to them. It's purely the tea leaf and the flavor from the tea leaf.
Oh, this is definitely light.
Yeah, so this is the kind of tea that got me started on loose leaf tea. So this kind of very clean floral Taiwanese oolong is what got me started on loose leaf tea. So it always have a soft spot in my heart.
This is the type of tea that you drink after you had a very heavy meal.
Yes.
Correct? Oh, okay,
Perfect.
yes.
Like I think this would go great with like fried
oyster cake.
Yeah, I was gonna say cai tau kueh actually, but yeah, oyster cake or like something very rich and oily. Then you have this. It's very nice lah.
I had oyster cake yesterday from Maxwell. It was amazing. Yeah. Does he have like a shop? Does he offer experiences like this for a price?
I've not been doing a great job of it, but on my Instagram I do have a menu. It's only on my story highlights for now. You can look at it and buy. Usually what I do is you place your order. I charge another $2 for postage and I just mail it straight to your mailbox.
Okay. How about these sessions though? How much do you
charge?
So
session like this where I will go through typically 6 types of tea. I charge, last 2 times I've been charging $30 when it's 4 people but if it's less, $30 per person for 4 people.
And how long does that run?
Each session has lasted slightly under 3 hours, about 2.5 hours. Yeah, because it's quite a bit of tea to go through. Actually, the first session was with my neighbor downstairs. Then after that, she said, "You have to sell better." She said, "You never give me a QR code, never ask me follow your Instagram, never ask me buy tea. How can you do this?" Then I'm like, "Oh yeah."
I think it's pretty reasonable for when it comes to per hour entertainment.
I think for the lay person, that is about the limit that they're willing to pay for. But if you go and look at other tea sessions like this outside, right, some of them get really crazy expensive.
Serious? What's the most of the prices you've seen?
Wow. I remember seeing one, but I can't remember the price, but it's definitely 3 digits.
3 digits?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah. But those places, of course, like, this is in my own home.
Okay, then they got rent, they got staff.
This is in my own home. Like I said, I don't have all the equipment. With those people, firstly, they have like certifications. They've gone for courses to learn how to brew tea for people in a certain fashion. They have all sorts of expensive equipment. They have the whole ambience. They have like incense burning somewhere. This is just come to my HDB, sit down and you drink some tea with me and then I teach you about tea. So I would say what you are getting is definitely different, but this is, like what I said earlier, what I wish existed when I got into tea. I don't want all the mumbo jumbo. I just want to learn about tea.
Yeah, that's the good thing. What's the first tip that you've learned that you will give to beginners, or if you advise 2019 Colin?
I would say just fucking drink the tea. Don't revere it so much and hold it, keep it, and just never drink it. Like I think I shared with you last time. I have a friend. I gave her some tea when I went to a place for housewarming or something. So I gave her 3 types of tea, 10 grams each. That's 30 grams, which doesn't take me long to get through at all.
Okay.
6 months later, I asked her like, "Hey, how you drink the tea? What do you think?" And she's like, "Oh, very intimidating."
Very intimidating.
Yeah. I don't know how to do blah blah blah. Then she said, "Oh, I haven't drank it." So one day when I went to her place, I just said like, "Give me the tea, give me a jug." I took the jug, I filled it with water, I dumped the whole 10 grams in, and I put it in the fridge. I said, "Tomorrow, pour out, drink." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then the next day, she texted me, she said, "Wow, damn shook, yeah." And I'm like, "Yes."
This is the best thing ever.
It's in your house for 6 months, And then like 1 week later, she texted me and she said, "Oh, I finished already." So I guess that first step of brewing it, I think as Singaporeans, we are too used to being prescribed like exact
dimensions.
A, B, C, step 1, step 2, step 3, you must be 3.4 grams with 35 ml at 98 degrees Celsius for 25 seconds. It doesn't need to be that way.
Okay.
This drink is a drink that's been drunk for, I think, thousands of years now. So just put some water and drink it. If it's too bitter, I would say next time use less tea or brew slightly shorter. If it's too light, next time use more tea leaves or brew slightly longer. That's about it.
So on the flip side, now that you've shown that it's actually pretty straightforward to get into it, and you could do it simply cold brew, have you screwed up in any way, your tea?
Oh, definitely. Like you see, like now I'm just like pouring, right? And then I'll cover it and I'll talk to you, right? I have done this so many times where I pour, then I'm like, okay, I'll step away for 10 seconds to clear one thing from my dish rack. And then half an hour later, I'm like, oh shit, this has been steaming for 30 minutes. And then it's completely bitter and undrinkable.
Oh, okay. So
then I throw it away.
You keep it too long, it will become
Yes, if you want, we can try that today. It will be very, very bad if you leave it for too long.
Okay.
It will get really, really sharp and bitter, which, to me, it's not pleasant at all and not worth drinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pity.
Yeah.
Many times.
I have done it many times.
That is the trick of multitasking.
Yeah. Even earlier when I was talking to you, like, I was talking, then like, then if you notice like I did this, then like, oh shit, there's water inside, then I quickly poured it out. And thankfully that was okay.
So you really have to go into the flow of the...
Yeah, which is why some people say, I mean, just like 2019 Colin, right? I believe that, and some people believe that when you want to drink tea, you have to sit down and be completely immersed in it.
Be mindful.
Which once in a while I still do, definitely. But as just a drink, I don't give it that much reverence lah.
Okay. Yeah. And I noticed that from the kettle, you're just putting it, it's like less than a minute.
At least the Chinese way of brewing it, what people like to do is what's called Kung Fu cha. Kung Fu, not the martial arts, but Kung Fu also means skill, right?
Okay.
So what they do is they use a large amount of leaves to a relatively low volume of water, and as a result you do very short steeps, but you can do many steeps. By doing it this way, what a lot of people believe is, you can taste the different layers to the tea, and from brew to brew, it does have, I wouldn't say a huge difference, but it does have some minute differences, and you can appreciate fully what the tea has to offer, as opposed to what's called on the internet as the Western way of brewing, which is you put a relatively small amount of leaves and you put a lot of water and you leave for 3 minutes, and then you pour out one time. Maybe you do 2 brews and then you throw away the leaf.
Have you spilled any tea yet? I think to reword this question would be, what's the worst sign of gatekeeping that you've ever encountered in your journey? Someone's like saying, no, this is not how you should be drinking tea. This is the right way to do it. And then they'll like critique you on your approach. Have you ever encountered something like this before?
Definitely. I mean, there are a lot of people who, like I said, if you just go on the internet, there will be so many people who say like, oh, how can you cold brew? Firstly, like cold brewing is something that a lot of people say like, oh, you buy expensive tea leaves, then you just cold brew it, you're wasting it and blah blah blah.
Okay.
But I would then argue that wasting it would be not drinking it. Okay. And as long as you enjoy the tea, what does it matter to you? And
don't care about other opinions. If you're happy, you're happy.
Yes, I would definitely say, ignore these people, just screw them. If you're happy with how you're drinking it, then I haven't really gotten deep into matcha, but I've lurked around on some matcha subreddits, and those people can be really crazy, I would say. Like, I understand that there's a lot of things going on in the matcha world. For example, because matcha is such a hype now, there's huge shortages of matcha globally. And on the matcha subreddits, people will be hating on other people drinking it in milk lattes and stuff, which I can kind of understand. Because it's a bit painful to see like such a high quality product being used for what you view as a lesser,
very convenient drink.
But I would then argue, if people are enjoying it and people are paying money for it, the farmers are getting fair value for their work. Why do you give a shit how people drink it? You can drink it how you want, and you can, like, I would not drink any of these with like milk and sugar. But if I sold it to a customer and they said, oh, I drank it with milk and sugar, I loved it, I wouldn't go on a whole rant and say, how can you, blah, blah, blah. Because however you enjoy it is the best way to have it, I would say. You cold brew it, hot brew it, drink it with milk and sugar. As long as you're happy.
And make sure you're drinking your tea and not hoarding it.
Yeah.
Is there any tea you consider holy grail but unable to get your hands on?
Yeah, so the most expensive tea in the world, I can't remember which president gave which president, but some president of China gave some president of US. I think it was either Bill Clinton or George W. Bush when he went to China to visit. He was gifted with like 20 grams of tea or something like that.
20 grams?
Yeah.
Wow.
20 grams of tea is tiny. Let me show you. This is like probably 30 grams. He was given a packet smaller than this.
This is 30 grams, Chet.
I think so. Roughly, this is about 30 grams. So one of the presidents, when he went to China, he was given a small amount. I can't remember exactly how much. It might have been 50 grams or something of tea. But it came from this tea called Da Hong Pao, which is from Fujian. And this tea is made up of a blend of 6 trees in the mountains there in Wuyisan, which today is illegal to pick from. Nobody can pick from these 6 trees.
It's a forbidden plantation.
Yeah. So when he was given leaves from those trees, he was like, probably his reaction was like, what the fuck? You give me like one tiny little pack of tea, but that is priceless. I think the last time any tea from these 6 trees was sold, it was sold at an auction for something like 50,000 USD or something, a small amount.
50,000, wow.
Yeah, I'm sure someone can Google it. Just Google Da Hong Pao, you find it in the Wikipedia probably.
Da Hong Pao Wikipedia, US and Chinese visit.
Yeah, so That's crazy. So I would love to try tea from those 6 trees one day, but unless I become a multi-billionaire or something, I'm not going to.
Okay. Okay, what are we going to try next?
Okay, I thought today it would be fun if we could do different brewing styles.
Okay.
So I just want to showcase how easy it is to brew tea. Okay, so firstly, this is an aged oolong. Like what you mentioned earlier, you asked about keeping tea for very long, right? Certain types of tea, like oolongs, when they age, what they will do, because like I said, it still absorbs a bit of moisture, just from the air.
Yep.
So what they will do is every year or two, they'll take it out and they'll bake it again to drive off the moisture and also add layers of complexity to it. So this aged oolong is from 2007. So this is old enough to drink.
2007.
This oolong, if you were a person, it could drink alcohol.
Wow.
It's 18 years old. But I'll show you how casually you could drink it.
Put it in
I
the-
dump it into a mug. Then you put boiling water. So like I said just now, you have the high tea leaf to water ratio. In this case, this is how I would drink it in office. Like I would just put a bit of leaves, put a lot of water, just leave it for quite a bit. So this will leave it for maybe a minute or two. And to strain it out, I would just use a fork. And I'll stick it in and pour it out into another mug.
Oh, okay.
So that's the lowest barrier to entry. If you have 2 mugs and a fork or a strainer, you could drink tea. Yeah. Then later I'll show you what I also do is I use this like
this
basket
fancy
strainer.
also.
Yeah. So this is another convenient way to drink lah. But with some leaves, actually people leave it in water forever. And in fact,
The longer the better.
sounds quite contradictory, but I said green teas oversteep easily, but if you go to China, I think the tastes that they have are quite different. So when I was in China last year, I would see like Grab drivers or like you buy a train ticket, the staff working at the train counter, they just have a glass bottle with a bunch of green tea inside and they just fill it with water and it just sits there for the whole day. They drink, every time it's about halfway down, they top up with water. Every time it's halfway down, they top up with water and just reuse the same leaves over and over and over again.
How do you know? You're looking at them for the whole day.
No lah, I've seen online what people say and I see that they have water bottle with leaves inside.
Okay.
And it looks like it's been steeping for quite a bit lah. I've tried it, I personally don't like it after a while. But that's what they do there.
So it's really goes down to preference.
Yeah, I would say personal preference is a huge matter. I think, like I said, I very strongly believe that in Singapore, we are too used to being prescribed what to do that we forget how to figure things out for ourselves. We are always being told by this influencer or that influencer which cafe or which place to like, but doesn't matter lah. Like my favorite zi char place down the road, it's like 3.6 on Google Maps, but I strongly believe that all those people are wrong.
They don't know better.
That zi char is so good. It should be a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
But different people just have different preferences lah. Similarly, I've been to so many places that are hyped up by influencers, and I'm sure everyone has felt the same way that sometimes you go to somewhere that's hyped up by so many people and you go there and you're like, this is shit. Yeah. I think there's a lot of value in learning to figure out for yourself, which is what I'm trying to do. When I started doing this Instagram page, I went as far as wanting to not put any tasting notes in my descriptions.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to influence other people's perception of the teas. But recently I made the change because people were like, if you
They
don't
really need some
if
guidance.
you don't tell me a bit, then how I know what am I buying? How do I know which to choose? So on that aspect I gave in, but I still want people to try and figure out for themselves. Like, to be honest, this aged oolong, I personally don't like it at all. But
Oh, you personally don't like it?
yeah, but from our last interaction, I remember that you like strong, heavy roasted teas. I think you will love this. And one of my customers, there was a point that I wanted to stop stocking this. Then I told my customer like, I'm probably not going to bring it. Then she said, please, this is the best tea that you sell.
Please,
don't
this is the
ever
best.
stop. Then I'm like, really man? I don't think very nice here. Then she told me like, give it another try. It's damn good. Then I'm like, okay, sure.
So this is your own personal struggle between what you prefer and what the market actually prefers, right?
Yeah. So to be honest, I hardly ever drink this tea. I would never reach for it, but
Okay, let's go.
there are people who like it lah, and it's definitely interesting. You don't find aged oolongs very commonly in Singapore for sure.
This is the color is way richer than the previous one.
So sometimes one leaf falls in, then you just pick it up, and there.
Wow, Zuchi, what snacks are good with tea? Colin is slightly,
No, I would say anything. Of course, if you really get down to it, there are places, there are cafes and stuff.
I
You like this?
I like this.
Yeah, I really dislike this tea.
This one has a very oaty, roasted. You can.
Yeah, it's very roasted. I mean, okay, to be honest, today I'm not hating it. But it's still not my favorite. I wouldn't reach for this tea, but some people love it. To me, it almost has a slight like TCM kind of note, which I guess to me is a lot of bad memories.
Okay. This doesn't taste herbal. To me, TCM is very herbal, very strong and bitter. This one is, I would say, enjoyable. To me.
Yeah, sometimes I get a bit of like chocolatey notes to it, which then I enjoy. But then another time I drink it, then it has this like herbal notes to it, which I don't like. So I'm a bit confused when it comes to this tea.
Okay. So your favorite profile tends to go a bit more lighter.
I like lighter, floral, fruity kind of notes, which I think will be quite apparent. Like this one, I've been absolutely in love with. Yesterday, when I was preparing for today's session, my wife was in the room, I was sitting out here. Then suddenly she heard me like, then she like, why? What happened? Then I said, oh sorry, I just smelled this tea and I still fucking love it.
Okay.
Because this tea, like, every time I smell it, I'm like, wow, it smells like perfume and like lychees and flowers. It's such a wonderful tea.
So the biggest takeaway here is try out, be curious.
Yeah, be curious, learn for yourself.
Okay.
You know,
form your
be
own
your
opinion.
own person.
Yeah, form your own opinion.
Yeah, I think we are very quickly turning into like a hive of robots in this world, and
Everything's so
what
vanilla.
for, right?
Yeah,
What do you think of this?
Not my favorite. It's very green, very light, but
Yes.
yeah.
I understand why you don't like it, because I think I've worked out your
My
flavor
profile
profile. You
already.
like the much darker, richer tea. So this black tea, I don't know if you will like it because it's not dark and rich and roasted. And even before today, I already guessed that your favorite would be the aged oolong.
Okay.
But to be honest, I personally enjoy these lighter teas quite a lot.
Because when I took a whiff of this, right, it's like, okay, it's very green, and this is like a vegetable that you smell in when you fry.
Some people say it smells like peas or something.
peas. Oh, okay.
Like green peas or beans.
Okay.
Yeah. Did someone say kangkong?
Any teh kang kang.
Yeah, I guess that could be a tea.
I feel like I'm eating vegetables with this.
So like I said, there's a tea for everyone lah. Like I said, when I hosted my wedding photographers, I think it was 4 or 5 of them. One of them said, the Jingshen oolong, the first oolong that we had, he said, at the end of the session, he said, that is the clear, absolute winner. And his friend was like, no way, is this
No
other
way,
tea?
this
What's
one.
wrong with you? Then I'm like, calm down guys, everyone has their personal preferences. Then they're both like, no way, what's wrong with you? How can you say this is the best? The other one was clearly the best.
Okay.
So everyone really has quite varied personal preferences. I would
What's
say.
missing is right now we should have a small little thing that we can write our scorecard, then take picture.
Actually, maybe for future, I'll
Yeah.
try to do something like that.
Because it's so hard to actually, now that really remember at this point of time,
Yeah.
the flavor itself and how it made you feel by the time you finish the session itself. I think
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that was the feedback from one of the sessions that they said they wanted like name cards, like card with the name.
So they can take picture.
Yeah. So that they will remember. Because I guess for me, all this is in my head, but I have to realize that for others, it's not lah. So yeah, maybe for future sessions.
Tier list, yeah, that's the one. In
But-
number A.
But I would say if you made a tier list, S tier, A tier,
All
everyone
debatable,
will tier it differently, because as just with the two of us, the tea that I hated most of these 4 is your favorite so far.
Okay.
So it really varies from person to person. By the way, I think now we can give this a taste. You remember this?
This is the 15 minute. It's been how long already? Okay.
I have no idea. It's been quite a while. We'll see how this tastes now. So I hope it tastes bad. We'll see how bad it is.
Oh, tastes bad. Okay.
With a green tea, this would be a lot worse. With oolongs, it might not be that horrible.
When
but
we are saying bad, what am I expecting?
it should be very bitter.
Should be very bitter.
Yeah, give it a small sip. Okay, it's not horribly unpleasant, but you can taste that the bitterness now is a lot more than it was earlier.
Yeah, definitely for this color, I can feel that it's much stronger in taste.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's bitter.
So to summarize, today we've had Jingshen, which is a very floral, light, clean Taiwanese oolong. Then we had the aged oolong.
Which was in the balls.
Yeah, these two were both in balls from the same cellar actually. This one is the 18-year-old tea that's very dark and rich and roasted. You can clearly see from the color of the leaves as well. They had the yellow tea, which Gerald didn't love.
Yeah.
Then now we are having this black tea that I actually sourced directly from a farmer in China. I met him by chance when I was in China.
Wait, you source directly from the farm itself instead of going to the store?
Some teas I source from, it's a variety lah, but for this tea it's directly from a farmer. And if you smell the lid now, you should be able to smell some of
So when you say you smell the lid, I thought you were going to pass me the whole.
No. So you smell the lid, you can get some of the notes coming off it as well.
Okay, I think this should be a strong tasting one.
This is slightly fruity as well, but I would say fruity and floral notes are not common in black teas, at least not in black teas that I've tried. With black teas, usually you get richer, darker, malty flavors usually. But this one is very, I would say fruity, like lychees, osmanthus.
Okay.
So I really love this one.
So how repeatable is it for these tea sellers or tea farmers to repeat the success of their
Year on year?
Year on year? Isn't it tricky?
I mean, I'm no tea farmer, but I've spoken to a few and it's quite difficult. And also, repeating it is one thing, perfecting it also, like this year, if you realize, oh, this step I did wrongly, I should have done something differently. Next year, you try and iterate. With most things in life, you have so many chances, but a friend of mine who works with tea farmers, she said, one tea farmer said it to her in a way that made it very clear. He said, even if you start making tea when you're in your teens and you do it all the way until you're into your 70s, you only have 50 tries at this to get it perfect. So it's not an easy task. Like for me, if I want to learn how to cook a scrambled egg, I can scramble eggs all day long. I can try it 50 times in a day. And then at the end of one day, I can yes, I've done it 50 times, I know how to do it well. But with these tea farmers, they only have X number of tries in their lifetime to get it perfect. So it's not an easy job, I would say. It's a very, very tough job. Like when we went to a tea farm and we got to speak to the tea making process, a lot of steps I'm like, I'm an engineer by training, by the way. So I asked like, what temperature, how many minutes? Then they're like,
don't know.
I say, you take it out and you touch with your hand, you throw it back in, you stand there and you do this, you smell the fumes coming out, and then when it hits a certain note, you know to stop the machine. Then I'm like, what note is that? How do you know what note? They say, from experience.
And this is like among the 50 times that they had it.
Yeah.
And maybe they will get it on maybe the 15th time or the 30th time. Wow. And then they have 20 more opportunities and they screw up this.
Yeah, and screwing up one time is basically like 1 year's work gone. So it's just like, even the best chefs who scramble eggs day in, day out, highly likely there are some days that they fuck up, right? But if you fuck up a scrambled egg, you throw it away and you just do it again. For them, if you mess it up, it's messed up.
There's no days off, it's years off, year off if you mess up.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that their work is completely down the drain. They would probably just have to sell it at a lower price point if
that's
the
unfortunate.
quality is reduced. Yeah,
Especially
but very tough job, I would say. Very, very difficult job.
So this whole series is known as I Know a Guy, and we are looking at cool and unexpected people that I should check out. So for you, Colin, who is your guy? Who do you think I should be checking out next?
Actually, it's not one guy, but it's a couple. So I know a couple of lawyers actually who run a pottery studio in their house. They sell pottery from their own house. I have some of their wares here actually. Yeah, so these were all made by this couple that run Umbrello Pottery in Singapore.
Okay.
Very passionate couple who just love pottery. I mean, they dedicated a whole room in their house to this hobby of theirs.
This a whole room?
Yeah, so they have one room with a throwing wheel, with a kiln and everything in their house.
Wait, they have a kiln in their house itself?
Electric kiln. Yeah, and they've done like pilgrimages to Japan to learn from Japanese potters. So I would say their passion is quite next level.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the tea, Colin.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Hope you enjoyed.
That's it for this one. And now we've got our pottery folks who we will definitely check out next.